Hey guys, what is up? This is Stephanie, aka the Limitless Babe, reminding you today and every day that you are limitless. So today is another one of the dating series. This one is, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so today's topic is taking every dating encounter and using it as an opportunity to practice having difficult conversations. So, one of the things that I think is lacking the most in relationships is the ability to have difficult conversations without having them turn into arguments. Okay. Without it turning into arguments, breakups, breaks, whatever you want to call it, silent treatments, all that nonsense. Right. And I think where this happens is that we don't get enough practice. Okay. And some people think, oh, I don't want to date. That's a lot of work. Or, oh, why am I going to waste my time going out with this person if, I don't really see it going anywhere? You know why? Because when you utilize the dates with the people that you're not terribly excited about to actually start practicing having difficult conversations, guess what you're really doing? You are preparing yourself and getting yourself into that mode so that when you do find the right person, not only have you practiced, but you're seasoned at having difficult conversations. And you will be able to communicate so much more effectively with your partner in a way that feels easy and just your baseline. Okay. But admittedly, I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, when I've been in my past, when I was in, relationships with people that I really cared about, your emotions are much higher, right? Like the stakes feel higher, even though they're really not. The stakes feel higher. Everything feels more intense when you really care about somebody. And also, when you really care about somebody, I feel like that's when your triggers and your trauma tends to get activated. So it's a really good idea to practice having difficult conversations with people that I don't want to say that you don't care about, because it's not that you don't care about them, but with people that you don't feel that intense connection with. And if you don't want to do this in dating, although I do highly recommend it because it is an entirely different dynamic, you can also practice this with day-to-day people in your life, with the person at the grocery store, with a client, with your parents, with anyone who you engage with on a day-to-day basis. And this just means really sitting with yourself and paying attention to how you feel when something does or doesn't work in your life and learning how to communicate those feelings effectively, even when it might make the other person uncomfortable. And practicing figuring out okay, so this is a sensitive topic. This is going to make the other person feel some type of way. How can I soften it, but still be stern and get my point across? Right. So, again, the more that we take the time to practice and express to other people in our lives what does work, what doesn't work, you're building that muscle. Everything that we do, everything that we say, every behavior that we perform on a day-to-day basis is a muscle. It's something that we can either strengthen or we can weaken. And I don't know about you, but I'm all about growing, getting better every day. And one of those things is definitely communication. I want my communication to blossom. I want my communication to be the best it can by the time that I meet my person. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to have dialogues with them, even when I know it's not going to be the easiest for them to hear. I want to be able to deliver that. I want to be able to say how I'm feeling authentically so that my needs can be met and their needs can be met. And if need be, and unfortunately the situation no longer suits either one of us, I want us to be able to walk away in a way that is beautiful and peaceful and with no animosity, or as minimal animosity as possible, right? So it's super important, if you are looking to have a beautiful, healthy dynamic with someone, if you are single right now, or even if you're not single, even if you're already dating your person, listen, don't you want your relationship to be the best that it possibly can? So practice having difficult conversations. Now, if you are in a relationship already, obviously you are not out there dating, hopefully. I hope. I mean, listen, I'm not in your relationship. I don't know your business. But if you're not dating and you're already in a relationship, well, then, like I said, you can practice having difficult conversations with everyday people in your life. Okay. And that's as simple as even telling someone at the supermarket who, I don't know, bumps into you, saying something very nicely to them, but also being clear, like, hey, I know you're in a rush too, but that didn't work for me. I don't know. Trying to think of the example off the top of my head, and that was a really lame example, guys. Okay, so one example that I can come up with for you guys from my own personal life, I have been in EMDR therapy, and I remember that at a time I was discussing something with the therapist that was going on, and unintentionally, inadvertently, she said something that came across really judgmental to me. It didn't feel good. Now, I know that this person is trying to help me, that this person is invested in my well being, and they don't mean me any ill will. So, like, I know your intentions are good. And I had to sit with that and say, okay, I know her intentions are good, but what she said and how I felt really didn't sit well with me. And I was able to take a pause. Like, I didn't say anything right away, right? Like, I let it be. And just before we had our next session, I sent her a message first, letting her know, listen, like, I know. And again, I started it very gently. I know that your intentions are only for good with me. And I know that you did not mean to come across this way. But when you said this, this is how I felt. This is what it triggered in me. This is how I feel. And I was able to express it in a beautiful way where then when we had our session, like, we had a beautiful dialogue about it, and she apologized and we were able to move forward. But this is an example of practicing having difficult conversations with people that are in your day to day. Another instance would be like, I had an issue with my mom. And I mean, I know I'm not the only person that has family stuff come up, and we're gonna bump heads, especially as we grow up and we become adults, and it's harder for our family to see us in this different role, in this different light, different dynamic. And I was able to stand, like, say to her, listen, like, we had an argument about something. Okay. So there was an issue with my mom where, we had a little hiccup. We had an argument about something. And in the past, our pattern has always just been that she pretends like nothing happened. And listen, for years, that's what's gone on. And I don't know about you, I don't want to live that way anymore. And I really am in a place where I wanted to shift the dynamic in my family and create new patterns, especially now that I'm a mother, right? So I was able to sit with her and say, Mom, I love you. And I want to have a conversation with you. First of all, is now a good time? Do you have a few minutes for us to have a conversation? And, she said yes. And I was able to tell her peacefully, like, this is something that I don't want us to continue. Listen, like, I don't want us to pretend like things don't happen anymore. I think it's really important for me moving forward that when we have hiccups, we at least, discuss it from a calmer place at a later time. And I apologized to her for my part. And, I gave her the opportunity to share her feelings about it. And um did it go perfectly smooth? No, but I think that little by little, it sets the tone, and it's definitely made improvements in our relationship. And, this is something that you can practice with everybody in your life. This is something that you can practice with your friends. Like, sit there and tell me that your friends never piss you off. Okay. But you can have difficult conversations in beautiful ways. And the more you practice it, the more that you, work that muscle, the stronger it gets. And then you're going to get to the point where having difficult conversations is a piece of cake. And the plus side to that is that you have better relationships, and also you feel more peaceful because the people around you understand you a little bit better, and you don't feel like you're always bending over to please everyone else. People just understand you, you understand them, and it just creates such a beautiful dynamic around you. So I strongly encourage you to use every opportunity. And if you are dating, especially, like, even if it's a first date, even if, you're not super excited about the person, I actually have a few theories on this, which I guess I'll get into in another topic. I would still go. I would still go because it's good practice. It's good practice for you to see, like, what triggers come up, what feelings come up, what conversations are difficult for you to have. But also, you never know. And I definitely want to make another video about this, about talking about how chemistry will lie to you. And oftentimes, the person that you're not necessarily feeling so much on that first date might actually be your best match. So that's a video for another day. But anyway, my point being, like, go on dates, meet people, talk to people, practice, strengthen those muscles, and see how your communication and your relationships blossom. All right. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, drop me a comment below. Let me know what are some questions that you have about, dating. I'm actually enjoying this new little mini series that I'm working on. So, yeah, let me know what thoughts you have, what you want to know about. And in the meantime, stay limitless, guys. Go out there and practice. Have some fun. Bye.